Chosen one. Someone will get jumped, and everyone in this community turned on each other because of you. What started as a friendly rivalry has now turned into a battlefield. The laughter gone, the alliances shattered. At the center of it all, your name lingers on their tongues like a curse. You didn't ask for this war, but the moment you claimed your throne, egos cracked, betrayals surfaced. Now the streets are buzzing with one chilling warning about who's getting jumped next. You've already won this game before it even started. While secret meetings are being held and little alliances are being formed, something massive has already shifted in the spiritual realm. Every move made against you is actually accelerating their destruction. You want to know why you're so calm right now? Because deep down your spirit already knows what's coming. You need to understand the magnitude of what your energy has done to this situation. When you were actively engaged, when you were responding to attacks, when you were defending yourself, you were actually giving everyone a purpose. Your reactions fed their narrative, your pain validated their actions, your struggle justified their behavior. But the moment you withdrew your energy, the moment you stopped playing the role assigned to you, everything began to collapse. You pulled the cornerstone out of their foundation simply by choosing not to participate. Consider what's happening in private conversations right now. Former best friends are questioning every interaction. People who shared secrets are wondering if those secrets are safe. Those who conspired together are calculating who might expose what first. The paranoia is consuming everyone from the inside out. Trust has become impossible. Every smile is suspect. Every kind word feels like a setup. Every gesture of friendship seems like manipulation. You created this without saying a word, without taking an action, without lifting a finger. Your power in this situation transcends anything physical or verbal. You've tapped into something cosmic, something that operates beyond human understanding. The protection surrounding you isn't just spiritual mythology. It's tangible, visible in how every attack bounces back, how every scheme backfires, how every plan falls apart. You're witnessing divine intervention in real time, and it's specifically designed for your vindication. The community that formed against you was never real. It was an illusion held together by shared hatred, and you were the glue. Without you to focus on, without you to blame, without you to attack, there's nothing left but empty people facing their own emptiness. You exposed this simply by existing authentically. Your light revealed their darkness not through confrontation, but through contrast. You didn't have to point out their flaws. Your presence made those flaws impossible to ignore. Now let's talk about what getting jumped really means in this context. It's not just physical, though that threat looms heavy in the air. It's emotional ambush, spiritual attack, social destruction, financial sabotage, and psychological warfare, all rolled into one. The jumping that's about to happen encompasses every level of human experience, and the beautiful irony is that those who plan to jump you are jumping each other with the exact same tactics prepared for your destruction. You should see the fear in their movements now, the way people look over their shoulders, the way phones are hidden, messages are coded, meetings are secret. Everyone's living in the prison created for you. The surveillance system built to monitor your movements is now turned inward. The intelligence network established to gather information about you is now gathering information about each other. The weapons stockpiled for your destruction are now pointed in every direction except yours. Your name has become a trigger word that sends everyone into panic mode. Not because of anything you're doing now, but because of what your name represents. You represent the truth nobody wants to acknowledge. You represent the mirror nobody wants to look into. You represent the standard nobody can reach. You represent the authentic power that exposes manufactured strength. Every time your name is mentioned, it reminds everyone of their own inadequacy, their own deception, their own failure. The jumping that's coming isn't random. It's carefully orchestrated by the universe itself. Divine justice doesn't move haphazardly. It strikes with precision at the exact moment when the lesson will be most impactful. The person who will get jumped is the one who led the charge against you, who organized the attacks, who seemed untouchable in their position of power. But power built on lies is like a house of cards in a hurricane. One strong wind and everything tumbles. You're about to witness what happens when karma collects its debts all at once. The universe has been keeping score, recording every transgression, noting every attack, documenting every lie. The payment schedule has arrived, and it demands immediate settlement. No payment plans, no negotiations, no extensions, full payment due now, with interest that's been compounding since the first move was made against you. The protection around you has evolved into something unprecedented. It's not just a shield anymore. It's an active force field that transmutes negative energy into positive outcomes for you. Every curse becomes a blessing. Every attack becomes an advancement. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity. You're not just protected. You're being propelled forward by the very forces meant to hold you back. The harder anyone pushes against you, the faster you rise. Your elevation is happening in direct proportion to their degradation. As you ascend to new heights, everyone else descends into new depths. As doors open for you, doors slam shut for them. As opportunities multiply in your life, opportunities vanish from theirs. As peace fills your existence, chaos consumes theirs. This isn't coincidence. This is cosmic law in action. What was stolen from you is being returned with multiplication. What was attempted against you is manifesting against them with amplification. The exposure that's happening goes beyond personal destruction. It's systematic dismantling of an entire network built on deception. Every lie told requires more lies to maintain it. Every deception creates vulnerability. Every false narrative needs constant reinforcement. The maintenance required to sustain illusions is exhausting, and everyone's running out of energy. The truth doesn't require maintenance. It simply exists, and your truth is standing solid while their lies crumble from exhaustion. You've become the center of gravity that everyone orbits around, even in your absence. Every conversation somehow leads back to you. Every problem gets traced back to your influence. Every solution requires dealing with the reality of your existence. You're the unavoidable topic, the inescapable presence, the undeniable force that shapes every dynamic. Not because you're inserting yourself, but because your energy has fundamentally altered the entire ecosystem. The spiritual contracts written against you have not just been voided, they've been reversed with penalties attached. Those who signed up to destroy you are now bound to experience their own destruction. The agreements made in darkness are being exposed to light. The blood oaths, the soul ties, the energetic bonds formed to work against you have become chains around their own necks. You didn't break these contracts. Your elevation to a higher frequency made them null and void, and the penalty clauses activated automatically. Watch how money starts behaving strangely around this situation. Resources that were abundant suddenly dry up. Income streams that seemed secure suddenly stop. Opportunities that appeared certain suddenly vanish. The financial attacks planned against you required monetary investment, and now that investment is demanding returns that don't exist. Everyone who contributed to your downfall financially is experiencing financial downfall. The economic warfare launched against you has become an economic crisis for them. Your energy signature has become so powerful that it's affecting reality itself. Things bend around your presence, circumstances align in your favor, timing works to your advantage. What seems like luck is actually the universe reorganizing itself to support your journey. You're not manipulating reality. Reality is responding to your authenticity. The more genuine you become, the more fake everything else appears in contrast. If this touched your heart and mind, hype this video so more chosen ones can receive this message. The person who's about to get jumped doesn't even see it coming. Arrogance has blinded them to the obvious signs. Pride has deafened them to the warnings. Ego has numbed them to the danger. While everyone else scrambles for safety, this person still believes in their own invincibility, still convinced that their position protects them, still certain that their followers remain loyal. The shock when reality hits will be devastating to witness. You should understand something about divine timing. The jumping that's about to occur will happen at the moment of maximum impact, not when anyone expects it, not when anyone's prepared for it, but exactly when the lesson needs to be learned. The universe doesn't operate on human schedules. It moves according to cosmic orchestration, and right now, All the instruments are aligned for a symphony of destruction that will echo through eternity. The conversations happening behind closed doors would shock you with their desperation. Bargaining for safety, negotiating for protection, offering to switch sides, willing to betray anyone for personal survival. The same people who stood united in their attack against you are now bidding against each other for immunity from consequences. But there's no immunity from divine justice, no escape from cosmic law, no protection from universal balance. Your silence through all of this has become legendary. People expected responses, reactions, retaliation. Instead, you gave them nothing to work with, no ammunition for their guns, no fuel for their fire, no food for their hatred. Your silence starved their narrative until it consumed itself. Your absence created a vacuum that sucked in all their negative energy and reflected it back at them. Your non-participation became the most powerful participation possible. The jumping that everyone fears is already happening in slow motion. It started with small betrayals and is escalating to complete destruction. First came the whispered doubts, then the open questions, then the subtle accusations, then the direct confrontations. Now comes the physical manifestation of all that built up tension, the explosion that everyone saw coming but nobody could prevent, the inevitable conclusion to a story that was always going to end this way. You're experiencing something called divine insulation. While chaos reigns around your name, your actual life remains untouched by drama. While your reputation is debated, your reality improves daily. While others fight about you, you progress without them. This insulation isn't something you created. It was placed around you by forces that recognized your purpose before you did. Protection that preceded the attacks because the universe knew what was coming. The evidence of your victory is everywhere, if people would just look. Your peace in chaos, your growth during attacks, your prosperity despite sabotage, your joy through trials, your strength in isolation. Every attempt to diminish you has amplified you instead. Every effort to break you has built you instead. Every plan to destroy you has developed you instead. You're the living proof that divine protection is real and active. Consider the meetings that are happening right now. Not planning sessions anymore, but damage control. Not strategy meetings, but survival summits. Not attack coordination, but defense preparation. The entire focus has shifted from offense against you to defense against each other. The war room built for your destruction has become a bunker for their protection. The weapons aimed at you are now pointed at each other. The army assembled against you has turned into a circular firing squad. Your throne was never in danger. It was divinely appointed, cosmically confirmed, universally protected. Every attempt to knock you off it only secured your position more firmly. Every challenge to your authority only demonstrated your power more clearly. Every attack on your character only revealed your integrity more brightly. You didn't defend your throne because it was never yours to defend. It was given to you by forces that don't recognize human challenges to their decisions. The fear spreading through their ranks is palpable. Nobody trusts anybody. Everyone suspects everyone. All communication is monitored. All movement is tracked. All association is questioned. The surveillance state created to control you has become their prison. The intelligence apparatus built to predict your moves is now predicting their doom. The control system designed for your containment has become their cage. You've transcended the entire situation to such a degree that you're operating in a different dimension. While everyone fights in the mud, you're soaring above clouds. While everyone scrambles for position, you're already positioned. While everyone struggles for power, you embody power. This isn't arrogance. This is recognition of divine placement. You didn't elevate yourself, you were elevated. You didn't choose this position, you were chosen for it. The breakdown happening in their community is systematic and complete. Communication systems are failing, trust networks are collapsing, power structures are crumbling, financial systems are hemorrhaging, social bonds are dissolving, spiritual connections are severing. Everything that held them together is falling apart simultaneously. And at the center of this collapse is the void created by your absence, the empty space where their common enemy used to be. Your presence haunts every interaction, even though you're nowhere near them. Your influence shapes every decision even though you're not involved. Your energy affects every outcome even though you're not participating. You've become the invisible force that determines everything while doing nothing. The absent presence that controls everything while controlling nothing. The distant power that shapes everything while touching nothing. The jumping that's about to happen will be swift and decisive. No warning, no preparation, no mercy. The universe doesn't send advance notice when karma comes to collect. It just arrives, demands payment, and takes what's owed. The person who's about to get jumped has been living on borrowed time, and the loan just came due. The interest rate is astronomical. The penalties are severe. The consequences are irreversible. You need to understand your role in this divine drama. You're not the aggressor. You're not the defender. You're not even a participant. You're the catalyst that revealed truth, the mirror that reflected reality, the light that exposed darkness. Your role was simply to exist authentically, and that existence triggered everything else. You didn't cause this chaos. You revealed the chaos that was always there, hidden beneath fake smiles and false unity. The attempts to rewrite history are failing spectacularly. Everyone's trying to claim innocence, to shift blame, to minimize their involvement. But the truth has a way of surfacing despite efforts to suppress it. Documents are being discovered. Messages are being leaked. Recordings are being released. The evidence is overwhelming and undeniable. The false narrative crafted against you is being replaced by the true narrative of their corruption. Your energy has become so refined through this process that you're untouchable. Not untouchable in an aggressive way, but untouchable like a frequency that can't be tuned into with negative intentions. You're broadcasting on a wavelength that hatred can't reach, operating at a vibration that jealousy can't match, existing in a dimension that pettiness can't access. You've literally elevated beyond the reach of lower frequencies. The community that united against you is experiencing something called collective karma. When groups come together for destructive purposes, the karmic debt is multiplied by the number of participants. Each person carries not just their individual karma, but a portion of the collective karma. The weight is crushing, the burden is unbearable, the payment is astronomical, and there's no bankruptcy protection from cosmic debt. You're witnessing the difference between human justice and divine justice. Human justice can be manipulated, delayed, avoided. Divine justice is absolute, immediate, and inescapable. Human justice requires evidence, lawyers, judges. Divine justice requires nothing but truth. Human justice can be bought. Divine justice has no price. Human justice can make mistakes. Divine justice is perfect in its execution. The person about to get jumped still believes in their own version of reality, still convinced that their narrative is true, still certain that their actions were justified, still sure that their position is secure. This delusion is part of the divine comedy. The universe allows people to believe their own lies right up until the moment truth destroys everything. The shock value is part of the lesson. The surprise is part of the punishment. Your growth through this situation has been exponential. Every attack taught you something. Every betrayal built wisdom. Every loss created space for better. Every wound became a source of strength. You're not the same person who entered this battle. You're evolved, elevated, enhanced. The trials meant to break you have instead forged you into something unbreakable. The fires meant to burn you have instead purified you into pure gold. The exposure happening now is just the beginning. What's been revealed so far is only the surface layer. The deeper corruption runs far beneath what anyone imagined. The connections extend beyond local drama into systemic issues. The network reaches into places nobody expected. The revelation of truth will shake foundations that seem solid. The full exposure will change everything everyone thought was real. Your name will be cleared so completely that even former enemies will have to acknowledge your innocence. The vindication coming isn't partial, it's total. Not just you were right about some things, but you were right about everything. Not just maybe we misjudged, but we completely fabricated everything. Not just sorry for the misunderstanding, but we deliberately lied, and everyone knows it now. The financial restoration coming your way defies mathematical logic. What was stolen will be returned multiplied. What was blocked will flow abundantly. What was denied will be granted excessively. The universe doesn't just restore, it overcompensates. It doesn't just balance, it tips scales dramatically in favor of those who were wronged. Your bank account is about to reflect divine mathematics, where subtraction becomes multiplication. You're about to enter a season where everything accelerates in your favor. Opportunities that usually take time will manifest instantly. Connections that typically require effort will happen effortlessly. Doors that normally stay closed will swing open automatically. The acceleration is divine compensation for the delays caused by attacks. Time stolen from you is being returned compressed, allowing you to accomplish more in less time than naturally possible. The protection around you has become generational, not just protecting you now, but protecting your future, your legacy, your entire lineage. The attacks meant to end your story have instead ensured your story continues stronger than ever. The curses meant to affect your bloodline have been reversed to bless your bloodline. The destruction planned for your future has been transformed into construction of an empire that will last beyond your lifetime. Your silence has spoken volumes that words never could. Your absence has had more presence than attendance ever would. Your non-engagement has engaged every dynamic more than participation could. You've mastered the art of winning without fighting, conquering without battling, defeating without attacking. This is the highest form of victory, the kind that requires no effort because the universe handles everything. The jumping about to occur will serve as a public example of what happens when divine protection is challenged. It won't be hidden. It won't be private. It will be visible for all to see. A demonstration of cosmic justice that nobody can deny or explain away. The person who gets jumped will become a cautionary tale told for generations about the consequences of attacking chosen ones. You've maintained your integrity through all of this, and that's your greatest victory. You didn't become like them to defeat them. You didn't stoop to their level to beat them. You didn't sacrifice your values for revenge. You remained authentic when it would have been easier to be fake. You stayed truthful when lies would have been convenient. You kept your heart pure when bitterness would have been justified. This integrity is your true power. The universe is preparing something for you that exceeds your current imagination. The attacks against you were actually preparation for receiving what's coming. You needed to be tested to prove you could handle the blessing. You needed to be stretched to contain the expansion. You needed to be emptied to be filled with something greater. Every loss was making room. Every betrayal was removing obstacles. Every attack was actually aligning you with your destiny. The community collapse happening around your name is systematic and irreversible. No amount of damage control can stop it. No public relations campaign can fix it. No reunification effort can heal it. The fractures are too deep. The trust is too broken. The truth is too exposed. What's dead cannot be revived. What's exposed cannot be hidden. What's broken cannot be repaired. This is the final chapter of their story, but only the beginning of yours. Your energy has shifted the entire spiritual atmosphere of this situation. Where darkness once dominated, light now prevails. Where hatred once ruled, truth now reigns. Where deception once thrived, authenticity now flourishes. You didn't fight darkness with darkness, you simply turned on your light, and darkness had no choice but to flee. You didn't battle hatred with hatred, you simply stood in love, and hatred consumed itself trying to reach you. The person about to get jumped is starting to sense something's wrong. The subtle changes in behavior around them. The coded conversations that stop when they appear. The loyalty that seems forced. The support that feels hollow. But pride won't let them acknowledge what intuition is screaming. Ego won't allow them to admit vulnerability. Arrogance won't permit them to seek safety. They're walking into their own destruction with eyes wide open but refusing to see. Your victory in this situation transcends personal vindication. You've demonstrated universal principles that others can learn from. You've shown that authentic power defeats manufactured strength. You've proven that divine protection surpasses human attack. You've established that truth eventually conquers all lies. Your story becomes inspiration for every chosen one facing similar battles. Your triumph becomes evidence that nobody fights alone when the universe is on their side. The aftermath of what's about to happen will reshape everything. Power structures will shift, hierarchies will crumble, new leaders will emerge, old systems will die. The entire landscape will be unrecognizable, and at the center of this transformation stands your truth, unmoved and unmovable, the catalyst for change without changing, the force for transformation without transforming, the power for revolution without revolving. You're entering an era of unprecedented favor. Everything that was difficult becomes easy. Everything that was closed becomes open. Everything that was impossible becomes inevitable. The struggle season is officially over. The warfare period has ended. The battle phase is complete. What comes next is pure blessing, pure elevation, pure manifestation of everything delayed during the attack season. Your throne is secure. Your crown is permanent. Your scepter is unshakable. The kingdom they tried to steal was never theirs to take. The position they tried to claim was never theirs to occupy. The authority they tried to usurp was never theirs to command. You haven't just maintained your position, you've expanded your territory. You haven't just kept your power, you've multiplied your influence. You haven't just survived their attack, you've thrived beyond imagination. The jumping that's about to happen is already decided in the spiritual realm. It's just waiting to manifest in the physical. The person chosen for this consequence was marked long ago when they made their first move against you. Every subsequent action just added to their sentence. Every additional attack just increased their penalty. Every continued lie just multiplied their judgment. The accumulation of offenses has reached critical mass, and the explosion is imminent. You don't need to watch when it happens. You don't need to witness their fall. You don't need to see their destruction. Your eyes are focused on your future, not their past. Your energy is invested in your elevation, not their degradation. Your attention is on your blessing, not their curse. You've already moved so far beyond this situation that what happens to them is irrelevant to your journey. The protection around you isn't just for this situation. It's permanent. Anyone who tries to come against you in the future will remember what happened here. The example being set will serve as a deterrent for generations. Your story will be told as a warning to those who think they can challenge divine appointment. The consequences witnessed will prevent future attacks before they're even conceived. This is your moment of absolute triumph, not because you fought and won, but because you didn't have to fight at all. Not because you exposed them, but because truth exposed itself. Not because you sought revenge, but because justice sought them. You stand victorious through divine intervention, elevated through cosmic arrangement, protected through universal decree. The battlefield clears, the smoke settles, and you remain standing, not because you're strong, but because you're chosen, not because you're powerful, but because you're protected, not because you're better, but because you're blessed. Someone did get jumped. Multiple people actually, but never you. It was always them. Jumped by karma, jumped by consequences, jumped by each other, jumped by the very forces they tried to use against you. The community that united against you has destroyed itself. The alliance formed for your destruction has imploded spectacularly. And you're exactly where the universe intended, on your throne, wearing your crown, holding your scepter, ruling your kingdom, untouched, unbothered, undefeated. Your ascension through this chaos reveals something profound about your true nature. You weren't just randomly selected for this experience. You were specifically chosen because your frequency could withstand what others couldn't. Your spiritual composition could endure what would destroy most people. Your energetic signature could transmute poison into medicine. You're discovering capabilities within yourself that lay dormant until this pressure activated them. The attacks meant to reveal your weaknesses have instead unveiled your supernatural strengths. Your movement through this situation has been like water flowing around rocks, effortless, natural, inevitable. You didn't force your way through obstacles, you flowed around them. You didn't break down walls, you dissolved them. You didn't fight resistance, you redirected it. This fluid approach to conflict has revealed a mastery that comes not from training but from alignment with universal flow. You've become one with cosmic current, and nothing can stand against that force. The documentation of your victory is being written into universal records, not human history that can be altered, but cosmic archives that stand eternal. Your triumph over organized evil becomes reference material for future chosen ones. Your methodology of winning without fighting becomes standard protocol for divine warriors. Your example of maintaining integrity through persecution becomes the template others follow. You're not just living your story, you're establishing precedent for how light defeats darkness. Consider the magnitude of what your single presence has accomplished. An entire network built on deception has crumbled. A community founded on hatred has consumed itself. A system designed for destruction has self-destructed. You did this not through action but through existence, not through effort but through essence, not through fighting but through being. Your authentic self was the virus that crashed their corrupted program. Your genuine nature was the antibody that destroyed their infection. The space you've created by walking away has become a vacuum that's pulling everyone into chaos. Nature abhors emptiness, and the void left by your absence is being filled with their own toxic energy, reflecting back at them. Without you to absorb their projections, those projections are bouncing between them like deadly pinballs. Without you as their target, their ammunition is ricocheting in their own camp. Without you as their focus, their vision has turned inward, and they're horrified by what they see. Your elevation continues while their degradation accelerates. These aren't parallel processes happening independently. They're connected through spiritual law. Your rise necessitates their fall. Your blessing requires their lesson. Your vindication demands their exposure. The universe maintains balance through reciprocal justice. What was taken from you is extracted from them. What was given to them undeservedly is transferred to you deservedly. This isn't revenge. This is restoration of cosmic order. The magnitude of protection surrounding you now exceeds anything previously possible. You've graduated from basic spiritual coverage to elite divine security. You've moved from standard universal protection to premium cosmic insurance. You've elevated from regular angelic assistance to executive celestial service. This upgrade wasn't purchased or earned. It was awarded based on your response to persecution. Your grace under pressure qualified you for grace beyond measure. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing entirely to put yourself to the test. When I confronted the archons beyond our reality, they made one thing clear: true chosen ones are rare. They laughed at the thought of us finding each other. Yet here you are, watching this message. The Obsidian Inner Order isn't for everyone claiming to be awakened. We're the real ones, those who've seen beyond the veil, felt the call and carry the unmistakable frequency. But are you truly one of us? I have given you everything I've got, and I'm digging deeper to bring you even more. Don't just consume content from the sidelines. Real chosen ones take action. Share your story on our weekly group call. Get a revealing tarot reading from our resident card reader. Discover if your experiences align with the authentic signs. The Archons fear nothing more than chosen ones recognizing each other. When we connect, our frequencies amplify and create a force they cannot stop. That's why we're going to be live streaming to the entire Astral Atom network to find every last one of us. Click the link in the description below now. It's time to stop wondering and confirm what you already suspect. Are you merely interested in awakening, or are you truly chosen? Prove it. Join us. The verification you seek awaits with the Obsidian Inner Order. You're experiencing something called retrospective blessing, where past pain transforms into present power. Every tear shed becomes future joy multiplied. Every wound inflicted becomes wisdom amplified. Every loss experienced becomes gain magnified. The universe is converting your historical suffering into contemporary success at an exchange rate that defies comprehension. Your past is being redeemed in your present to secure your future. The individual who got jumped most severely was the architect of your attempted destruction, the mastermind who orchestrated everything, the puppet master who pulled all strings. But cosmic justice has a sense of irony. that's both poetic and brutal. Every string pulled has now wrapped around their own neck. Every puppet controlled has turned against its master. Every orchestration has become a symphony of their own destruction. You didn't have to expose the mastermind. The universe made them expose themselves through their own arrogance. Your journey through this battlefield has equipped you with armor that's invisible but impenetrable, weapons that are intangible but devastating, strategy that's unconventional but undefeatable. You've become a warrior who wins wars without declaring them, a general who conquers territories without invading them, a champion who claims victories without competing for them. This is mastery at its highest level, where winning becomes automatic rather than achieved. The collapse happening around your name is teaching everyone a lesson about divine selection. When the universe chooses someone, that choice is non-negotiable. When cosmic forces anoint someone, that anointing is permanent. When spiritual law protects someone, that protection is absolute. Your attackers thought human will could override divine will. They discovered that challenging cosmic selection is like declaring war on gravity. You can deny it, fight it, rage against it, but you'll still fall. Your presence in this situation has been like a lightning rod for truth. You've attracted all the hidden deceptions to surface. You've drawn out all the concealed corruptions. You've pulled all the masked malice into visibility. Not intentionally, but naturally. Truth recognizes truth and exposes lies, simply by existing. Light recognizes light, and reveals darkness simply by shining. You've been the catalyst for revelation without even trying to reveal anything.